Hi, my name is Professor Brayan. Welcome to this journey through diplomacy and global affairs, careers in international relations. Today we are going to study the chapter named Core Diplomatic and International Roles. In this chapter, we'll explore careers in global affairs that range from diplomats and political officers to specialists in law, human rights, development, security, and strategy. These roles shape international policy, foster cooperation, and address global challenges. Course overview and career landscape. This slide outlines the range of careers in global affairs available to you as economics students. It highlights projected growth in diplomatic and international roles and typical entry-level compensation. The slide emphasizes that economics graduates have a head start because of quantitative training. You'll see roles in government, international organizations, NGOs, consulting, and academia. Think of this slide as a map of opportunities you can target with the right skills and experience. Your economics background? A competitive advantage. Economics gives you an analytical framework valuable in diplomacy and policy work. You are trained to interpret data, run models, and evaluate policy trade-offs, skills prized in global roles. Market understanding helps you advise on trade, investment, and regulatory issues in diplomatic posts. Data literacy is a direct advantage in positions that require forecasting and impact evaluation. So your degree is not just relevant, it's a differentiator when competing for international roles. Foreign Service Officer, diplomacy's front line. Foreign service officers represent their country abroad and protect national interests. Economic affairs tracks within the Foreign Service focus on trade, investment, and market intelligence. FSOs negotiate treaties, monitor host country economic policies, and support national businesses. The role blends policy analysis, client service for nationals overseas, and public diplomacy. It's a demanding but highly rewarding career for those who want direct state-level impact. Becoming a Foreign Service Officer. Entry typically requires a competitive exam and structured oral assessment. A security clearance and intense background checks are standard for diplomatic work. Successful candidates undergo months of training before first overseas posting. Your economics knowledge helps in both exam preparation and the economic affairs stream. Plan early. Practice policy writing, stay current on global affairs, and build interview skills. International Development Professional. Development professionals design programs to reduce poverty and boost sustainable growth. They work in organizations like the World Bank, UNDP, USAID, and major NGOs. Your role may involve project design, budget analysis, and monitoring and evaluation. Economists are especially useful for impact evaluation and cost-benefit analysis of programs. Career paths often move from field project roles into policy or senior advisory positions. Development economics in practice. This slide shows concrete duties: project design, econometric impact evaluation, and policy analysis. You'll learn how to apply theory to real-world interventions like cash transfers or infrastructure projects. Measuring outcomes with reliable data is central to improving program effectiveness. Economics tools let you ensure scarce resources are allocated for maximum social benefit. Practical experience here can lead to senior roles in development finance and policy design. Human Rights Officer. Human rights officers monitor and report abuses and support policy remedies globally. Economic factors, like labor markets and resource distribution, often underlie rights violations. You would document cases, prepare analytical reports, and advise on policy responses. Economists can quantify economic drivers of inequality and propose systemic solutions. This role merges advocacy, research, and operational fieldwork for social impact. Tori Arnal. Political Affairs Officer. Political affairs officers analyze political trends and advise on implications for stability. They brief diplomats, prepare situation reports, and cultivate local contacts. Your economics background helps assess how political events affect markets and investments. The role requires strong writing and stakeholder engagement skills. It's a key position for informing policy and shaping diplomatic strategy. Conflict resolution expert. Conflict resolution professionals design mediation, negotiation, and peace-building initiatives. Economists contribute by addressing resource disputes and designing economic recovery plans. Work includes negotiation facilitation, cultural sensitivity, and post-conflict reconstruction policy. The role blends fieldwork with analytical strategy for durable peace. It's ideal for those who want to apply economics to real-world stability challenges. The economic dimensions of conflict. This slide maps how inequality, resource competition, and external pressures fuel conflict. Economists analyze how trade shocks, unemployment, and resource scarcity escalate tensions. You can design interventions that reduce incentives for violence and promote recovery. Understanding the economic drivers is crucial for effective peace-building programs. This knowledge helps craft policies that address root causes, not just symptoms. International law specialist. International law experts focus on trade law, investment treaties, human rights, and maritime issues. Typically, a law degree is required, but economics undergraduates can specialize via law school. Economic expertise helps interpret the market effects of legal rulings and trade disputes. Workplaces include international courts, UN legal services, and private firms. This career is suited to those interested in the legal frameworks governing global economics. Cultural affairs attaché. Cultural attachés run exchange programs, cultural diplomacy, and public engagement initiatives. You'd manage budgets, design programs, and measure cultural impact. Economic skills help in cost-benefit analysis and demonstrating program returns. Cultural diplomacy builds long-term goodwill that supports broader foreign policy goals. It's a creative role that combines public outreach with program management. Economic affairs officer. Economic affairs officers are the economist voice inside diplomatic missions. They track trade, financial markets, and macroeconomic trends affecting bilateral relations. Their tasks include analyzing data, advising on trade policy, and supporting negotiations. This track is an excellent match for economics majors seeking policy influence. You'll often brief ministers, prepare country economic reports, and liaise with business communities. A day in the life economic affairs officer. A typical day mixes briefings, meetings, analysis, and stakeholder networking. Morning may start with market monitoring and briefing preparation for leadership. Midday often includes working groups on trade deals or investor outreach. Afternoon tasks include drafting economic reports and policy recommendations. Evening duties involve receptions or networking to advance economic ties. Intelligence and security analyst. Intelligence analysts assess threats and opportunities affecting national security and economies. You might analyze sanctions, trade vulnerabilities, or financial crime networks. Economics expertise helps in tracing illicit financial flows and assessing sanctions' impact. These analysts work in governments, intelligence agencies, or international security bodies. It's a high-stakes role linking economic trends to national safety. Global strategy consultant. Strategy consultants advise firms and governments on geopolitical risk and market entry. They produce risk assessments, market strategy, and crisis management plans. Economics training allows you to model market scenarios and advise on regulatory risk. Consulting offers exposure to private sector decision-making on international expansion. It's a path for those who want to blend economics, policy, and business strategy. Comparative analysis. Finding your fit. This slide helps match roles to your preferred balance of analysis, fieldwork, and policy influence. If you prefer analysis over travel, think tanks or economic officer roles fit well. If you like on-the-ground impact, development, or conflict roles may suit you better. Consider work style, desired impact, and lifestyle when choosing a path. Use this to narrow options and plan targeted experiences. Preparing for international careers. Beyond economics, language skills, internships, and international exposure are essential complements to economics. Aim for 1 UN language proficiency to improve employability dramatically. Pursue study abroad, internships with embassies, NGOs, or international organizations. Consider graduate programs in IR, development economics, or security studies for specialization. Network actively through events, alumni, and professional associations. Key takeaways and next steps. Economic skills, quantitative analysis, forecasting, and policy evaluation are in high demand. IR careers are multidisciplinary. Add languages, field experience, and communication skills. Practical experience through internships and simulations will set you apart. Start preparing now. Tailor your CV, seek relevant internships, and build networks. These steps convert academic strength into career readiness. The